Okay, so I'm going to start off by priming my face with the Hourglass Mineral Veil Primer. And although I haven't really figured out if it helps my foundation stay on my face longer, I just really like the feel of it. And so, yeah, I just use it. Next, I'm going to use the Makeup Forever Ultra HD Foundation, and I'm in the shade Y445. And although I really like the finish of this foundation, I have to set it very well because it does not mask any oils at all. If you don't set this foundation well, you will look like a grease monster at the end of the day. Next, I'm going to go in and with my concealer. So I'm using the Maybelline Master Concealer, and as you can see, a little bit goes a very long way. I'm using my finger to initially apply it because it doesn't have an applicator tip, but I'm also trying to blend it in a little bit more because I did put a little bit too much on the right under eye area. And so once I felt like I blended in a good amount, then I go in with my Real Techniques beauty sponge and further blend that out. And of course the sponge is damp. So then I'm going to go in with the Laura Mercier Loose Setting Powder, and notice that when I'm applying the setting powder to the concealer, I'm using patty motions. I'm not actually rubbing the setting powder across my concealer. And the reason why you don't want to do that is because you don't want your concealer to move. So anytime that I apply anytime I apply loose setting powder to the concealer, I'm always using patty motions to make sure that the concealer stays in place. And I forgot to conceal my T-zone area, so that's why you see me going over it as we see it right here. Next, I'm going to go in with the Baked Powder by Laura Mercier, and I'm using that to set the rest of my foundation. Now I'm going to use the NARS Face Palette by Klein, and I used the bronzer called Laguna to initially contour with, but I felt like it didn't really show up, so I went in with a darker color to finish off my contour, and I really did like that. This palette is limited edition, so I don't believe it's available now. I got it last year. Now I'm using the LA Pro Primer to prime my eyes, and then I'm going to take this light color here, and I'm going to use that to set the primer that I put on my eyes. And then I'm going to take this peachy yellow color, and that's what I'm going to use to initially put into my crease. And then I'm going to go in with this kind of burnt reddish orange color, and that's what I'm going to put into my crease just to add more depth into the crease area. And then I'm going to take this bronze color and I'm going to do a halo eye. So I'm going to put this color in the outer corner of my eye, and then I'm going to put it in the inner corner of my eye, and then connect the two areas with my brush here. And then I'm going to, of course, blend this out. So then I'm going to take this kind of pinky champagne color and apply that to the middle area of my eyelid. And I did spray my brush with some MAC Fix Plus just to make the color a little bit more vibrant. And then as always, when I'm done with that, I'm going to blend out that eyeshadow. Now I'm going to go in with that bronzy color, and I'm going to add that to more so the outer area of my eye, just to add some more depth to this eye look. And then I'm going to go in with this darker color. It's like a dark brown black color, and I'm going to finish off adding more depth to the eye. And notice that I'm keeping it toward the outer portion of my eye. Then I'm going to take that burnt orange kind of reddish color, and I'm going to smoke out the lower lash line, and then I'm going to go back in with that dark brown color and smudge out the lower lash line a little bit more. But notice that I'm keeping that just to the outer portion of the eye. I'm using the MAC eyeliner in Costa Rica to line my eyes, and then I had to get very close to put my mascara in, so that's why I said hold up, wait a second, because you're not going to see this. I'm using the Anastasia Beverly Hills Brow Definer to fill in my brows, and that is in the shade medium brown. And then I needed to clean up my brows because they needed to be done very badly, so I'm using some concealer to do that. This is the NYX Ombre blush, and I'm using the shade Nude to Me. And then I'm using the Anastasia Beverly Hills Glow Kit, and I mixed those two highlighters together to highlight my cheeks and my T-zone area. I do not highlight under my chin just because that tends to be the oiliest that I get in my T-zone area, so I just omit highlighting the area because I don't want to highlight it any further. I'm using the lip liner by ColourPop called Rayezor, and unfortunately these two lip products are discontinued, but if you wanted to find them, I'm sure you could find them on eBay or something. And then the liquid lipstick is called Stingraye. And then of course I finished off this look with my Urban Decay All Nighter Setting Spray. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Bye guys!